So it's apparently a weird rhyming pattern that hopefully will stay like this. And of course, instrumental interludes, which is what you need in order to fill the 10 minutes. Always with this ba-boom-gum, this right? Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, which is prosodic because autumn leaves don't follow metric rhythms. And a second chorus half that doesn't have anything to do with the first one. We clear booster line here, right? Well, what's going on here with carchy and patriarchy rhyming? That's brilliant. Well, we could talk about the early detection of pancreatic cancer with the help of AI, but let's talk song. This is really happening. I'm reacting to All Too Well by Taylor Swift, the 10-minute version. I think I'm ready. This is what you say in the comments. When I say you, I mean the channel members LG9U, Adibus123, LBJC, and QMSE, as well as countless regular viewers who have been reminding me of that song. I, for some reason, was not ready. Now I am. I really want to learn what's special about that 10-minute version of All Too Well. So without further ado, let's get going. Step 1, find the tonal center of the song. I think we are in the key of C major. Step 2, find the chord progression in that beautiful intro. We are in the axis of awesome. We have got the 1-5-6 minor 4 progression. C that goes to G, that goes to A minor, that goes to F. Very, very conventional. I think the most common chord progression in the world. You can apparently make it your own and turn it into a 10-minute version and perspective of this. With that, what is it? Is it a piano out of tune that creates that first intro hook with that ba-dum, ba-da-dum, something like this, right? Ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Always landing on chord notes and really highlighting that chord progression.
I walked to the door with you. The air was cold.
Okay, the chord progression stays the same as in the intro. The melody goes like this.
I walked to the door with you. The air was cold, like home somehow, and I...
Okay, cool. Da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-bum. So we go from C, we go up the scale to the E, ba-ba-bum-bum, da-da-dum, ba-ba-bum. But then it's the very, very beautiful drop. Bim-bim-bim-bim-bum. That somehow.
But something about it felt like home somehow, and I...
Somehow. Okay, so with that beautiful sixth leap down first, and then it's dum dum bum. A fifth leap up, 2 of the Taylor Swift signature leaps. Lyrics. I walked through the door with you, the air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow. That's interesting because the rhyme word in the last line is not the last word, right? So I walked through the door with you, the air, it does not rhyme with anything. The air was cold, we keep this, and then it's, but something about it felt like home, that rhymes with cold, but then somehow doesn't. So it's apparently a weird rhyming pattern that hopefully will stay like this.
There at your sister's house, and you've still got...
Okay, I think that the melody progression is the same as in the first verse half. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you've still got it in your drawer even now. So again, we have got those rhymes with house and now. Interestingly enough, going back to that somehow, that was the odd one out in the first verse half.
You've still got it in your drawer even now.
There is a melodic variation with you.
House and you've still got it in your drawer.
No, it goes up to the E, something that we know from the first verse half, right? All right. And of course, instrumental interludes, which is what you need in order to fill the 10 minutes. Let me quickly stop this video for a big thank you to the active financial supporters of this enterprise here on YouTube and over on Patreon. Big thank you to Andrew Morgan, Hugh MSE, Jennifer Grinder, Jody Henko, JC, Prince of Wales, Amy May, Jennifer Grinder again, Lena, Bloody Mary 26, Gigi, Vader's Pet Pig, Sarah Dell, Lexi Mitch, and Shia. If the rest of you also want to get early access to the videos and preferred treatment when it comes to your song requests, please check the links in description. On with the show. 10 minutes. With the hook reappearing, the intro hook.
Sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gay car getting lost upstate.
Always with this ba-boom-gum, right? The lyrics now turn into, oh, your sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gaze. We're sitting in the car getting lost upstate.
Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. Picture it after all these days.
With melodic, I should say metric liberties, with this autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, which is prosodic because autumn leaves don't follow metric rhythms, right? They are loose, they are just a bit floaty. Autumn leaves flowing down like, right? So this is not thick and thick and thick, so it's autumn leaves all over the place. It's not as, let's say, metric as this I walked through the door with you.
I walked through the door with you.
Right? I walked through the door with you. And this is here, autumn leaves falling down like.
Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. And
Beautiful alliteration with pieces into place, right? Double P.
I can picture it after all these days.
And picture it forming a third word in that alliteration group.
I know it's long gone and that magic's not here no more.
Okay, and now we change the melody, I should say. What pop song is that from? I don't know. What am I thinking of? 90s pop rock. I don't know. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments.
And I know it's long gone and that
Okay. Boom, ba, ba, boom. This is the hook that will repeat,
magic's not here no more.
right? What is that? I don't know.
And I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all.
Okay, we repeat that hook for a third time, and I might be okay, but I'm... And before we repeat it for the fourth time and it gets boring, it changes to this I'm not fine at all.
Not fine at all.
Fine at all! And I also think that this is the first instance where we sing the F that breaks the pentatonic rule, right? That is taken from the C Ionian scale, but is not part of the C pentatonic scale. Lyrics here are, and I know it's long gone, and that magic's not here no more, and I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all, okay? So the rhymes are also very loose. Okay, and then we have got some kind of a harmonic build up to what may or may not be the chorus.
Fine at all.
The thing after the A minor is already a change.
Might be okay, but I'm not fine at all.
Okay, so
Might be okay, but I'm not fine at all.
okay, so she breaks that axis of awesome by doing 1 5 6 minor 5. Something like the chorus or something, where the bangles, I don't know. And then we have got a very traditional 4 to 5 pre-chorus 2-bar idea with oh. interesting landing on the C, forming a G sus chord that is a bit more open as a dominant chord and not so traditional.
We are again on that little town street. Almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me.
Okay, this is clearly the chorus, starting with this "'cause there we are again" line, with the melody being.
'Cause there we are again on that little town street.
One note melody. "'Cause there we are again and now did-it-bum."
You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me.
With that being the tail to that idea. So we have got a very, very prominent punching in of the G, and only in the fourth chord we have that with the lyrics being "'cause there we are again on that little town street, you almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me." And the red is of course also the title of the album. Again, and red, I see the rhyming there, and street and me certainly. So we go back to we don't go back, but establish this for the first time, an A-B rhyming pattern, creating beautiful contrast to the verse.
Yeah, I was there, I remember it all too well.
And a second chorus half that doesn't have anything to do with the first one. We certainly are still in the chord progression, are we not?
Yeah, I was there, I remember it all too well.
Yes, we are still in the axis of awesome. We have got a totally different melody that goes like this.
In my hair, I was there, I remember it all too well.
Alright, again, a motif that repeats 3 times and then gets another tail. "Wind in my hair, I was there, and then I remember it." And then we introduce the change all too well. Again, with that chasing cars melody that we had in another Taylor Swift song. I don't remember which one it was. Ba-da-dum, do it all. And of course, ending that line also with the title of the song, which is "I Remember It All Too Well." Wind in my hair, I was there, I remember it all too well, with 2 short A lines that then go to something that doesn't rhyme at all, which is "I remember it all too well." Still with all and well, creating beautiful coolness and relationship between those 2 words, but it's not really a rhyme.
Photo album on the counter.
Photo album on the counter. Now we go back to...
I walked to the door with you.
Certainly in that direction. It's one more syllable before the downbeat with photo, but it's photo album on the counter, certainly taking us back to some kind of verse.
Cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized.
Clear booster line here, right? With photo album on the counter, setting the scene. Then your cheeks were turning red, another reference to the album title. And then it's that cool "you used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed." What a beautiful image. And also the way she phrases it and the way she delivers it is really booster line potential, where we take second verses, and I'm sure there's more verses to come, and lift those lines to another level to regain the listener's attention. I wonder how she will manage to keep my attention within the 10 minutes.
Red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed.
Always with that boom gum, 5th leap down, 5th leap up.
Mother's telling stories about you on the T-ball team. Past thinking your future was me.
Okay, and then we have got, and your mother telling stories about you on the T-ball team, with a lot of T's there, with telling and T and team. You taught me about your past, thinking your future was me, with that beautiful opposing meanings of the words past and future.
Tossing me the car keys, fuck the patriarchy, keychain on the ground.
Well, what's going on here with car key and patriarchy rhyming? That's brilliant. And this second melody, is that new, or is that something that we had before the first chorus? I think this melody that starts in that car key line is new. Let's look at the melody for a second.
Me and you
And another quick break that I want to use to introduce my golden retriever Simba to you. He's right there. Wait, what? You can't see him? Oh, right. That's because I haven't got a second camera, and this is where you come in. Please check the link in description in order to send me money on PayPal so that I can afford a second camera. Thank you to the first responders, Angela White, Devin Grayson, Paula Freitas, and Karen Seidman, who have already helped a lot. If the rest of you also want to pitch in, please check the links in description. On with the show. Right, bam, bam, and you were tossing me, and you were tossing me the car keys, but the patriarchy, ba 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 da da dum, with that double staircase going down, keychain on the ground, keychain on the ground. She goes up with ground. Anti-prosodic, but that beautiful fuck the let's go back. And you were tossing me the car keys, fuck the patriarchy, keychain on the ground. That's so good. We were always skipping town. And the town line with a new melody. Beautiful minor 7 leap down. We were always skipping town. And then that town, of course, going back and rhyming with ground. And I was thinking on the drive down. And we now repeat this pattern. Anytime now, he's gonna say it's a love. Beautiful new idea there. You never called it what it was. Wow, 9th leap down. Call it what it was. Cool. The lyrics say, we were always skipping town and I was thinking on the drive down anytime. And I was thinking on the drive down anytime now he's gonna say it's love. You never called it what it was. On the drive down anytime now he's gonna say it's love. With that cool internal rhyme with drive down and time now. And then love and was, of course, is the rhyme. Never called it what it was. And that very typical alliteration with what it was with the W sounds. Dead and gone and buried, check the pulse and come back swearing it's the same. It's always that new melodic motifs. I'm reminded about the way that Coheed and Cambria sometimes write their songs, which is... And I don't know if I'm doing them justice because I only know a couple of songs, but I think one of the strategies that they apply is because it's also a very musical inspired music that there is one drone chord progression that plays throughout and then they develop new ideas, something that Taylor Swift likes doing as well. In that case, she really needs a lot of ideas for 10 minutes. I hope that she goes back to the choruses at least every once in a while, because if not, then it's just a loose exercise in melody writing. Till we were dead and gone and buried. Okay, now it's the pulse and come back swearing. Repeat with that cool idea. Till we were dead and gone and buried, and then it's check the pulse and come back swearing. It's the same. After 3 months in the grave. Lyrics. Till we were dead and gone and buried, check the pulse and come back swearing. It's the same after 3 months in the grave with a very clear AABB rhyming pattern. You wondered where it went to. Again, this. And you held my lifeless frame. Okay, second half of that thing here. And then you wondered where it went to with a lot of W sounds. As I reached for you, but all I felt was shame, and you held my lifeless frame. Went to, as I reached for you, but all I felt... I think they are now a bit blurring those A rhymes with only shame and frame being the clear rhymes. I know it's forgotten. Okay, this is something that we know. What is that song? And I'm still riding. I don't know.
Was nothing else I could do. Get about you long enough to.
Okay, and again with that to build up to in what I will call a pre-chorus from now on. So and I know it's long gone and there was nothing else I could do, and forget about you long enough to forget why I need to.
Long enough to forget why I needed to.
Forget what I needed. Okay, with new lyrics also in the pre-chorus, so no repeating elements there.
Here we are again in the
And now, because there we are again in the chorus.
middle of the night, around the kitchen in the refrigerator light.
New lyrics, which of course might be a plot development, because there we are again in the middle of the night, and now look at that beautiful internal rhyme. We dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light, right? With kitchen and refrigerator, both creating that beautiful ij sound, while on the surface keeping that night light cliche rhyme.
We dance around the kitchen in the
Refrigerator light.
down the stairs.
Down the stairs and you go up.
I was there, I
Remember it all too well.
and there we are again
Repeat chorus, good idea.
when nobody had to know.
New lyrics though.
You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath.
Okay, you kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath is a very, very powerful comparison between keeping stuff or people like something.
Sacred prayer, and we'd swear to remember it all too well.
And always going back to that all too well. Sacred prayer, and we'd swear to remember it all too well. Remember those interludes when writing a 10-minute song. And again, with that additional dominant chord that we need sometimes to transition between phases.
Well, maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe
Is that? It's very close to the chorus. It's a post-chorus idea that might also be a primary bridge.
we're too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all.
Okay, well, maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. But maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up, right? Again, with much and up rhyming. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. We could spot an alliteration with masterpiece, with that T, and the tore it all up thing. Certainly a very powerful consonant, that T.
I was there.
I remember it all too... Oh. Melodic variation in what is simply another chorus. And this is the same time that the all too well is not remembered properly.
I remember it all too well.
Okay, now it's all too well.
And you call me up again
Okay. We go up and up with the melody.
just to break me like a promise.
Right? Break me like a promise!
So casually cruel in the name of being honest.
Oh, yes! And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel. Look at that alliteration, in the name of being honest. I've said it before, I think honesty is one of the most overestimated values. Sometimes honesty is just being mean, so why not shut your face and don't say everything you think.
Piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it all.
And we turn this into some kind of Taylor Swift rant bridge, with Liz Rose being the co-songwriter. I don't know her. I remember it all. I remember it all. Certainly forming a cool variation of that title hook. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here because I remember it all.
They They say all's well that ends well.
I think we know this. Right? This hook we had before, all's well that ends well, is something that Shakespeare already wrote down.
But I'm in a new hell every time.
Interesting. They say all's well that ends well, but I'm in a new hell every time.
You double cross my mind.
Okay, I think this is new. Cross my mind. With that, we could say it's an F major 7 arpeggio.
That if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fun.
Okay, you said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine with that hook repeating.
And that made me want to die.
Okay, that made me want to die. This is harsh.
Die. The idea you had of me, who was she?
Taken from the chorus, taken from another hook, but certainly still new.
Whose shine reflects on you.
And again, this build-up thing, right? The idea you had of me, who was she? Never needed, ever lovely. Cool. And then it's Jewel, whose shine reflects on you. So with beautiful rhymes that kind of overleap sometimes and are beautiful.
We've been in a party bathroom, some actress asking me what happened. You.
Okay, not weeping in a party bathroom. Some actor not weeping, but what is it? Weeping, not weeping? I don't understand what not weeping in a party bathroom means. It's probably weeping. Some actress asking me what happened. You. That's what happened. You.
You who charmed my dad with self-effacing jokes.
And now it's the dad being charmed by that you person.
Sipping coffee like you're on a late night show. But
You who charmed my dad with self-effacing jokes, sipping coffee like you were on a late night show.
then he watched me watch the front door all night, willing you to come. Supposed to be fun, turning 21.
All right. But then he watched me watch the front door all night, willing you to come, and he said, it's supposed to be fun, turning 21. Go out and have some. And of course, those different interludes creating the beautiful atmospheric development that the song shows and tells.
Time won't fly, it's like
Is that new?
but I'm still trying to find it after.
Certainly elements that we know from before, right? With that 6th and or 5th leap. Time won't fly. It's like I'm paralyzed by it, with that cool internal rhymes with fly, paralyzed, and by it. I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it.
Plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own. Mail back my things and I walk home alone.
Okay, welcome alone. Another closing line of that phrase. After plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own, now you mail back my things and I walk home alone. Cool idea to have this made me alliteration that then turns into mail back my things.
But you keep my old scarf from that.
Okay, the old scarf appeared before. I don't really remember when and where. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house.
Cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me.
Also, my sister told me something about this scarf thing being a Jake Gyllenhaal reference. I don't want to get into this because it's not my cup of tea. Let's talk some. But you keep my old scarf from that very first week because it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me.
We can't get rid of it.
Always new melodic ideas to kind of fit the lyrics that she writes.
You remember it all too well.
And now this remember it all too well suddenly becomes a refrain, something that you can also add to a verse instead of a chorus.
'Cause there we are again when I loved you so.
New lyrics for every chorus.
Back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was
It was rare, I was there. Another cool rhyme.
I remember it
All too well.
wind in my hair. You were
And this wind in my hair idea we already know as a flashback.
there.
You remember it.
All down the stairs.
Oh, okay. You remember it all, but it's no time for this too well because now she kind of recycles the different lyrical motifs that she had established before.
You were there.
You remember.
Remember it.
You remember it. New variation.
It was rare. I was there. I remember it all too. And I was never good at telling jokes, but
Okay, this is very special because it's a very long pickup line with the telling syllable being on the downbeat and everything before pickup. And I was never good at telling jokes. Okay, the jokes seem to play an important role in that relationship.
I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age.
Okay, and I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age. Okay, I think I get it, that the lovers are always young, and he, whoever he might be, I might have a hunch, will always take the 20-year-olds.
When your Brooklyn broke my skin and bulger, who's returning half her weight.
From when your Brooklyn broke my skin and bones. I don't know what this means. If you know that, please let me know in the comments. It's certainly a cool alliteration with Brooklyn and broke. I'm a soldier who's returning half a weight. I do get.
And did the twin flame bruise paint you blue?
Okay, now it gets really loose in terms of melody and metric rhythm.
Twin flame bruise paint you blue. Just between us did the love affair maim you too?
What a cool word, maim. What does that mean?
'Cause in this city's barren cold, I still remember
Is that the same chord progression though?
Brooklyn broke my skin and bones. I must
No, I missed the new chord progression. Maybe it was with that and I was never good at telling jokes.
telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older.
So she does change into from the axis of awesome into the doo-wop progression, which is the 1, 6 minor, 4, 5, right? Using the same 4 chords, but changing the order. Somehow I didn't spot this before.
Twin flame bruise paint you blue. Just between us, you too. 'Cause in this city's barren cold first.
And again, this 4 to 5 build-up that may lead to... Is it final chorus time already? No, we still have over 2 minutes left.
Fall of snow and how it glistened as it fell.
We keep that build-up motion with 4 to 5, 4 to 5.
Remember it all too well.
And then I remember it all too well in a new context and dress. Because in this city's barren cold, I still remember the first fall of snow and how it glistened as it fell. I remember it all too well. With beautiful alliterations with first, fall and fell.
Love affair maim you all too well.
Repeat lyrical and melodic ideas from that other thing.
Between us, do you remember it all too? Just between us, I remember it.
And now we have got this just between us as a background cool secondary hook.
All too well.
Oh, wind in my hair, I was there is now some kind of background answer to this ad-libby bit at the end.
Down the stairs, I was there.
Now it goes down the stairs. Down the stairs, I was there. Now it's down the stairs, not like before. It's all those air rhymes, right, that she had used before. Wind in my hair, down the stairs, sacred prayer, it was rare. I was there, I was there. Down the stairs, I was there, I was there. Sacred prayer, I was there, I was there. It was red, you remember. And she starts a fade out that will take almost a minute. Down the stairs, I was there, I was there. I was there, I was there, I was there. You remember it all too well. And that was Taylor Swift All Too Well 10-minute version. I made it and you hopefully are happy. Let's try and find valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1. Pick a common chord progression. If you want to write a 10-minute opus magnum, then that focuses on the lyrics, it's a good idea to have the chords kind of not be spotlight, right? So by picking the axis of awesome, the 1, 5, 6 minor 4, she allows the listener to really focus on the lyrics and on the melodic variations. Yes, she introduces another chord progression at the end, this doo-wop chord progression that changes the order of the original chords, but still, it's 2 very common chord progressions, and this is a very good idea if you want to write lyric-heavy music, right? To not have the chord progression as a distraction. It's all about the lyrics, and this is pretty clear here. Songwriting learning number 2, I remember it all too well as a refrain line that is also the last line of the chorus. So it appears sometimes in the verse, sometimes in one of the bridges, but in certainly all of the choruses as the finishing line, which is something that is a hook, not only a lyrical hook, but also a melodic hook with that, right? All too well, that you can vary sometimes, but make sure to go back to this. So, strong title of the song that also is the last line of the chorus is a very good idea in order to turn this into a hook. And songwriting learning number 3, careful with your prosody. If you say down the stairs, make sure to have your melody go down and not up like here. Right, it's down the stairs. It doesn't sound like down the stairs. At the end, they do manage to fix this in that fade out background idea. Right, down the stairs, I was there, I was there. Then we go down the stairs. But before that, down the stairs doesn't go down the stairs. Please make sure to avoid those issues if you are not Taylor Swift, who apparently can get away with everything. And this was my rather exhausting live reaction and on-the-fly analysis of All Too Well 10-minute version by Taylor Swift out of her Red Taylor's Version album. Thanks to channel members LG9U, Adibus123, LBJC, and QMSE, as well as countless regular viewers who have requested All Too Well throughout the last months. I hope you are happy with the video. If you are, and the rest of you as well, please make sure to give me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel, and to leave friendly comments, maybe also suggesting other songs that you would like me to analyze. It doesn't have to be Taylor Swift. And remember, you can increase your chances of your song being picked by becoming a paying member of this enterprise here. I guess we've talked song. You can talk about early detection of pancreatic cancer made possible with AI now. Bye bye.